Hi friends, it's Becky, and I'm going to share with you the Guardian Angel Design Challenge Kit from Softflex Company. This is not a bead subscription, but every month they come out with a new bundle of beads that also includes some Softflex wire, some crimps, and some design elements that could be a little challenging, but also quite fun to play with. And it is, again, a challenge kit so that you can play with the beads, come up with these things that have been curated to a theme, and there's a lot of fun that can be had on their YouTube channel. Great instruction for how to work with some of these beads, as well as in the very important beaders, the Softflex VIB Facebook group, where you'll find a lot more inspiration and things to do with the beads and findings that we have in there. So they usually put together the Softflex kit, and then often there will be a bead strand that is available for purchase as an extra that is curated and designed by Jesse James Beads. So we've got both of these to share with you, and there also was another bead strand that they had for sale alongside of this, and I think this was just put together by our friends at Softflex, but I went ahead and got this too, so I'm going to be putting both of these in here. It's just a little angel strand, so we'll take a look at both of those when we open this up. I'm going to open up the design kit. We're going to organize it into my 15 grid organizer. We're going to take a look at these beads, and if I am feeling inspired, I might be making something with it today. But it looks like one of the reasons that it might have been a little bit more than the other ones is because it's got like some artisan things like this Green Girl Studios pewter pendant. So we'll pull that out when we get to it and see what we've got. But it looks like there's going to be a lot of really fun, great beads in this. And we've got our twine. Sometimes I'll save the twine like this because you can make, use it for some messages. With this twined with the tinsel, it's going to be a little more difficult to use in the way that I usually do it. But it is sometimes nice to use this as a design element when you're doing some things. Now there is an official unboxing. If you missed it, it is on the Softflex YouTube channel. I'll link to that in the description so you can check it out. I usually do a little design on the fly with that as well, and I love, love, love this. What a great wintry bead mix. I love all of this. We're going to be sorting beads in order to get them in here, but let's pull this out. This design mix makes a really great beading kit for if you're a beginning beader, because you've got a bunch of beads and findings and things, but you've also got some beading wire. This is my favorite beading wire, the Softflex beading wire. It comes in all sorts of different fun colors, but this color is white quartz, and you get a full spool of this. You get some of the Softflex crimps. These are also really excellent crimps. They're some of the only ones that I use. They're fantastic 2x2 crimp tubes. It also comes with a few findings like some ear wires and a lobster claw and this pewter heart pendant. It has an angel on one side and it says safe on the other. This is by Green Girl Studios. They do these artisan, handmade, hand-carved type of pendants. They are absolutely fantastic creators and makers. I'll link to their site as well in the description if you want to check out some of the other things by Green Girl Studios. They are fantastic creators. So I'm going to actually put those away right away. I like to put my findings and pendants right here at the front of my organizer. And then it looks like we've got several strands of beads. Oh, how cool are these? There's going to be some ceramic beads in here. There's going to be glass beads. There's going to be check glass like those. We've got some little angel charms. How cool are those? Oh, that is a big old strand of these chunky boys. And then we've got some drooks and all of that. Like so many strands of beads. And then this is a bead mix that was put together by Jesse James Beads. The Guardian Angel bead mix. I'm going to need to remove the tape on this so I can get into it. It keeps it from coming open during shipping, so it is good to have that tape on there. That's just something to keep in mind with when you go to open it. If you're like, why won't it open? The tape. Don't forget to remove the tape, guys. I am guilty of trying to open things and then being like, wait a minute, there's tape on this. And then we've got the other side too. I'll take care of that after we get some of these other guys situated. So let's start with the bigger beads first. Looks like we have 3 of these white and sapphire check glass irregular oval beads. They are shaped like big old gemstone nuggets, but we've got the blue tinge in there, just swirled in with that glass. These are so cool. I am going to get these guys right here in this part of my organizer. All right, and then we've got some 7x10 clear Chinese crystal rondelles. And they are so sparkly, friends. Look at that. And that crystal is, I know it doesn't have an AV finish, but the way that the light is coming through is throwing all sorts of different colors at me, just from the way that the crystal is cut. I am in love with that. This is a pretty long strand for these larger beads. Let's find out if they all will fit in one section or if I'll need to put down my divider and have them take up 2 sections. Because sometimes with these larger beads, I have to do that. Oop, I think it's almost enough. Hold on. Let's get this. Will it close? Oof, but barely. There we go. Get them to settle in a little bit better. All right. So we've got those. We've also got these teeny tiny ceramic angels. Oh my goodness. Look how cute they are. I'm kind of glad that they don't have little faces, because then I would be like, oh, don't blink. Don't blink and you're dead. So I'm glad they don't have faces. I'm going to stick them in there. And then these brass metal stamped angel charms. I'm going to need to test these to see if they have any nickel in them. But let's get a couple. I mean, there's so many of them. Let's put one that's upside down and one that's right side up here so we can take a look at these. In fact, let's go ahead and test them now. I think I can show you how I usually do my nickel testing. I've got this little solution, and I like to test this so that my sister Jenny will know what she can and cannot use, what's safe for her for some of our things. 1, 2, 3. Now the pewter is safe. I'm just going to show you. The pewter that they use at Green Girl Studios is nickel free. So all we see is some brown stuff coming off, but no pink. And that's just because of the antiquing of the pewter. But then we've got our brass here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to give it a good rub. 2, 3, 4. And that is turning brown. I'm going to switch over to a cleaner section. It doesn't look pink to me, it's just a different color of brown. It is very vividly bright pink when it turns that color. So it looks like these are probably going to be Jenny safe. But there are so many of these angel charms. All right, let's get some of these other beads out here. So you've got some 3mm check glass pearls. That's these guys here. We've got some transparent blue drukes. That's these guys there. And some matte baby blue drukes. And druk just means round bead. And these are 4mm, and that's the 3. Let me snip this because it's a little too tight to swirl up in one of these sections by themselves. Oop. Got those guys. Let's go ahead and get this one opened. I love that there's so many little beads in here with this. All right, now we can start sorting our beads. I'm just cutting through the tape. Nope, it is still taped somewhere. There we go. So this is the Guardian Angels mix, the Jesse James Beads mix. It comes in there. Let's get to sorting. All right, first thing I see are these like champagne colored starburst coin beads. I love that the faceting on this alternates between the regular faceting and some frosted faceting because it really emphasizes the cut on that. And then we've got some light blue star cut facet, those triangles. These are about 8mm. Might be 10. They're fairly large, but not too large for those guys. Then we've got some blue cube beads. It looks like these have a little bit of a rainbow finish on them. And then these are some cute little fat bottom beads. They are flat, but almost heart-shaped, but not quite. They have a hole that goes from their wide end to their pointy end through the center. That's opaque with the luster finish. And then these have some disco facets on them. These are just plain crystal color. And these have a metal finish on one side. I'm turning a couple of them over. And then crystal on the other, so that you go through. They are definitely the square shape for those beads. Let's take a look at these guys. Got some small rondelles. They seem to be 5x4. And they're kind of a mushroomy color. I'm going to put them over here with these two. And then you've got some clear window cut beads. They've got the frosted bit that is then revealed with those little window cut facets. I love that because then you get some unexpected sparkle that you weren't. I guess that's the definition of unexpected. You weren't expecting them. All right, and then we've got some round metal beads with some rhinestones along the center. And then some spacers. And these rhinestone spacers have like AB finish rhinestones on them. Love that. And some daisy spacers. And I'll be testing the metals for these as well, just not during my unboxing. I will update the description with my results in case you guys need to know that as well. In fact, I'm going to take one of each of these and set them aside for my testing later. And then we've got some little teeny bicones that are that beautiful, beautiful blue. All right, so these guys are sort of sorted. Let's get our strand opened, because I like to sort the strand in with some of the beads from the mix if they go together. All right, these ovals are a very similar color to our little, I don't know what the bead shape is called on this, but I'm calling them fat bottom beads, with our fat bottom beads. So I'm going to sort these guys with them. We've also got these acrylic beads that have the faceted nodules all around them. They're like Sputnik. Spherical, yet quite pointy in places. And this gorgeous boho bead. Now this is a metal bead with pearl nodules attached to it. That is a beautiful focal bead. Set that right there. And then these are, they feel pretty lightweight, but they feel like glass maybe. They're acting like glass on this, but they're not super heavy like I would expect glass to be for those large drops. We've got a couple of these blue rondelle crystals. These are fairly large rondelles. We're going to put them over here with our blue boys. Some rounds and some bicones. Those are larger bicones than we had in the mix. We have a couple of small sparkly rhinestone beads. Some bead caps. These are fairly substantial bead caps. Setting one aside for nickel testing. And then we have two larger rhinestone spacers. And these ones just have the clear crystal rhinestone. They do not have an AB finish, and I'm setting one of those aside for testing. All right, let's get these guys into some spots in here. And I'll sort my angel bead out. Because yeah, the angel strand was also not part of this kit. It was sold separately. So it was a separate purchase for that. All right, let's get these guys sorted. And you can see how the angel is constructed on here, where we've got our opalescent glass oval bead, the angel wing spacer, a glass head, very tiny daisy spacer, and this looks like a gemstone disc bead, and then they're just separated by these sort of rondelle beads, which are also glass. So there's several of those in here. We can make angels with them, or we can separate them out and do other things. But let's get them sorted into some locations in here. These are these beads on their own. Right there. I'm going to put one of these angel wings with my testing kit. Again, it was not part of the this kit to have those. All right, so that's everybody. I also, when I put in my purchase, I got some of their check glass buttons because they were really great and on sale. I really love these. Especially love that they are 100% glass, so there are no metal shanks. But I love this button, and I'm going to just stick that in here because I think it will go with this kit pretty well. With that little blue outline on there. But yeah, in fact, let's go ahead and do this nickel testing. I'm thinking about it. I've got my kit out, and that way I can get these put away and it will be informative. So we'll just keep going. We will keep going and test that. All right. I'm going to start with those angel wings. 1, 2. And it will rub off. It will clean off the antiquing. And so you'll see like some brown, but that's just brown. It's not pink. So let's try clean side. 1, 2, 3. And this one will probably not have any nickel in it. It does not feel like the type of metal that has that. And that came back clean. The bead cap has 0 nickel react. This spacer zero nickel react. Rondelle didn't have any. That was the smaller one. And I'm not getting any for the larger ones. So all of these metals seem to be okay. Hooray! Jenny's going to be really happy to hear that. And all my friends out there who also have metal allergies might be happy to hear that too. All right, so that is all of our Guardian Angel kit, plus the 2 extra bead strands that were out there for sale at softflex.com. I'm going to go ahead and leave links to Softflex and to the Green Girl Studios if you'd like to check out some of the other things that Green Girl Studios makes. And if you'd like to check out the design kits, when they're very popular, they do sell out. So if they have any that are available, you can find that there. They also, at the same time that we do a reveal, they do the reveal for this, that very same day, they put the next month's kit up for sale. So if you missed out on the Angel kit, you may be able to get the next one. And that will be at softflex.com. And again, link is in the description below. Until next time, my friends, happy beading.